Hello and welcome to Great Escapes with me, Izzy Suttie.
And me, Dan Skinner.
This is the first episode of our new travel podcast. We'll be exploring some of the most fascinating corners of southwest England and Wales, meeting the people, tasting the food and throwing ourselves into the odd activity along the way.
We're heading off the beaten track and digging into the stories that bring a place to life, the kind of things you won't find in a guidebook.
In coming episodes will be wild swimming, casting a line from a real fishing boat, throwing pots and even spending a night under the stars.
Still not convinced about the wild swimming, is he?
Well, Bear Grylls wasn't available and you're the next best thing. Anyway, we also want to hear from you. What are your great escape stories? The funny, the strange, the unforgettable, unforgivable moments from your UK adventures. What's the story you've been telling people since you got back from your last trip?
Any travel mishaps, near misses or laugh out loud moments? Maybe you met some brilliant characters, found a hidden gem, or ended up somewhere completely unexpected. Whatever it is, if it made your trip memorable, we want to hear it. Tell us at greatescapes@thinkpublishing.co.uk.
I have got a story, actually. It's a travel story. It's an embarrassing story that happened during travels, which I guess are kind of the best stories.
I've got one of those too. So
have you?
Plenty, thousands of them.
Yeah, it's good if you keep moving after you've done an embarrassing thing.
Yeah, don't stay in one place. Well, in my one I couldn't, but go on. You
Oh, okay. Well, actually, I couldn't really. I had to stay in this place for the next 4 nights. So I used to go on these Christian camping holidays when I was.
Did you?
Yes, and you went, and some of them were in Wales, some of them were in England, and we used to go in a big campsite and all go to a kind of church in a massive marquee in the morning and sing. And then we used to get to do things like abseiling and pond dipping and rock climbing. And I went when I was about 11 or 12, and this is really frightening because this is now my daughter's age. And there was a boy I really, really fancied who was in the tent opposite me and my friend Ruth. So we made up a song about him called The Boy in the Tent. The boy in the tent opposite to us. And we were doing that nagging thing that he is a stupid prat.
Oh, is this because you liked him?
Yeah.
And of course you did the sort of like reverse psychology.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
Very clever.
And we
that's not something that's taught, is it? It's instinctive in children.
It's an innate thing. They've been doing it since the Stone Age.
Yes.
My boulder's bigger than yours.
That's it. But I fancy you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we talked about his clothes, saying that he wore flares when he didn't, just because it rhymed within the song. And we were singing it one night and he heard, and it was absolutely horrendous. This is what I used to do. I used to write these songs about boys, and I used to do it on behalf of other people as well. I started a sort of agency.
Well, you're a musician.
It was within me.
Yeah.
It was my calling. But it wasn't the intention that he hear it. It was just us having a laugh. And then he did hear it, and then he wouldn't look at us, and I was like, oh no. So yeah, that's Stephen Crawley, his name was.
And where were you?
On a Christian holiday camp in, I remember this place called Trago Mills. I don't know if that was the name of the place or that there was a mill nearby called.
Where is Trago
Mills? Don't know. Never been back. We'll have to look it up and tell everyone in episode 2. I don't know. It was.
How about this?
Did you write a song about someone?
No, I didn't write a song about. I was on those, on the Welsh coastline. Pembrokeshire Welsh coastline, I think it is, and it's really long, and the beaches there are stunning. I mean, they're just like unbelievable, wide open sandy beaches, with clear blue sky above you, and all these incredible rock face behind you. I mean, it's just unbelievably picturesque. And the beaches they go on for like not miles, but they go on a long way before you get to the sea. And as a younger person, and you could drive right down to the beach,
Really?
Yeah. And as a younger person, you just, I don't know what it is, you sort of get overtaken by the enormity of the space, seeing the sea and the sky and this massive beach. And so you just drive your car onto the beach, and
yeah.
And
just keep going.
Yes, basically keep going, and not having much knowledge about tidal systems. You're then confronted with the fact that you've parked your car way too near to the sea, and then the tide starts coming back, slowly lapping back, and you'd be very surprised at how quickly that happens. And all of a sudden, the tyres on the car are just sort of starting to sink slower and slowly into the sand and the water. And your panic sets in quite quickly. And I mean, you've seen this on a million TikTok clips. Man parks too confidently near the sea, and then there's people sort of playing Abide With Me as the water sort of laps up over the doors and stuff. We didn't get that far. We did manage to get the car out, but it was a ridiculous thing to do. However, the beach was absolutely stunning.
So where are we going this week?
Well, we're going to Shepton Mallet in Somerset. We're kicking off in Shepton Mallet.
Did you just do the accent? It's so tempting, isn't it?
Shepton Mallet.
Oh, yeah. It's a bit like the Shrewsbury and Shrewsbury thing, isn't it? I think that's depends what side of the river you're on. Yeah, Shepton Mallet just sounds like people trying to be posh, doesn't it?
Have you ever been to Shepton Mallet?
No, but I've been to Shepton Mallet.
Oh, what happened?
I went to do a long running show about bread and secrets and things, and we did it in a school in Shepton Mallet. And
where is Shepton Mallet?
So I know it's near Glastonbury because we were staying in Glastonbury, and Glastonbury was brilliant. We used to go to a cafe, so we were staying there for a couple of weeks doing shows all around Shepton Mallet and those sorts of areas. We went into one cafe where you could pay in crystals. They accepted crystals as a currency. And it was before the internet. I think the internet probably did exist, but no one really had access to it.
Well, look, I'm going to give you the Wikipedia definition of where Shepton Mallet is. It's a historic market town at the foot of the Mendip Hills, 16 miles southwest of Bath. So there you go. That's exactly where Shepton Mallet is. And it's got a few claims to fame. Shepton Mallet Prison, one of the most haunted in Britain. And of course, Babycham was born here. For anyone who doesn't know that, that's the legendary sparkling perry that was huge from the 50s through to the 70s. The first booze ever advertised on UK TV and a real game changer for women's drinking culture. And I'm off to the factory to see where it was made.
Which brings us neatly to our first stop, Shepton Mallet Prison. It dates back to the 1600s and only closed in 2013. The Kray twins were held here, and since closing, it starred in Paddington 2 and Stephen Merchant's The Outlaws. While I was there, I met Charlie, a tour guide, who took me through the cells and gave me a real sense of what life was like back in the 1800s, when rehabilitation often meant hard labour or worse. He started telling me about oakum picking, the grim job where prisoners were forced to pull apart thick tar-soaked ropes from old ships so the fibres could be recycled.
Oakum picking is basically rope that's been taken from the ships, which was keeping it afloat effectively between the planks of wood, ripped out and replaced. Those ripped out would be full of tar, salt water and all the rest of it. They would have been delivered to different prisons, and the prisoner's job was literally to rip it apart strand by strand, so you end up with very fine pieces of fibre. Those fibres would then be used in mattresses and pillow making and that sort of thing. So they had a purpose, but it was just a tedious job. Literally, in fact, we'll have a go.
Okay, and is this where they would have done it?
So they would have done it in this area here. So it would have been done in this whole area here. So there would have been women and men in this whole area. It was completely silent, so no one would be allowed to speak. But they would be set to their hard labour. The building here was the treadmill. So basically, if you imagine a massive hamster wheel, you would have walked on the outside of that hamster wheel consistently, going and turning the wheel consistently.
So, like the right way up?
Yes.
So you're actually walking...
So you're literally climbing. If you imagine the stairs in the gym that you get, it's like that consistently. The rungs were very close together as well, so it was really hard and tedious to do.
How long would they have to do that
You're going to do it for 10 hours a day.
I think I'd rather do the ocean, yeah.
It's going to ruin your nails, that's for sure.
Yeah, oh no.
But you'd be on there for 10 hours. You might get a 20-minute break every so often.
Were there heavy punishments if you made a noise or you
stopped
for a little break?
You weren't allowed to talk. You'd have had an officer kind of patrolling consistently. The hardest thing with the treadmill was the fact that you could fall off. You could get your fingers trapped. People got lots of hernias from doing it. It was just a really hard, laborious task. And again, you couldn't talk to anyone. It was all about silence and separation.
Yeah, I was picturing it like a big hamster wheel, which actually sounds quite fun, doesn't it? Like a big pink. It's not fun.
No, it's not fun. No. Not if you fall off. Not if you're doing it for hours on end. I think they say that within 4 days you're walking roughly the same height as Mount Everest.
And they didn't have Apple Watches then to count their steps.
No, sadly not.
They never knew.
Should we have a go at the ochre picking, just so I can give you a better idea?
Yeah. So why is it called? Is it oak? Did you say it's ochre?
Oakum picking, yeah.
So is oakum the name for the things that come out of it?
Oakum is slightly different from your traditional rope. It's slightly softer.
So it's the kind of
rope. It was more
rope
flexible to go into the planks of wood. And literally the prisoners would, I mean, you can imagine unrolling a rope and then having to break it down into the individual fibres.
So you're breaking it down to each tiny strand. Digging out any tar.
So you're literally, I mean, this is easy because it's just a piece of rope. Whereas actually the prisoners would have had salt water, tar mixed in there, which obviously stuck it to the ship. And it was just been boring.
And like seaweed and things like that.
Yeah, all of that sort of thing would have been stuck to it. Yeah.
Gosh, and they weren't allowed to talk. See, actually, I'm thinking, I know being in prison wouldn't be fun, but like, I really love knitting. If you could chat, and if it was for like 20 minutes with a cup of tea, this would be fine,
you're pushing your luck there, aren't you?
Don't think they drank much tea, did they?
No. Tea wasn't really a thing back then. I mean, if you want to do all this rope, that'll be great, and I'll pick you up later.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. If you bring me a pot of tea.
A pot of tea, yeah. No, we can do that. That's absolutely fine.
After touring around the hard labour yard, I was quite glad to get that over. Charlie was desperate to show me a surprise or two.
So this is the holding cell. We believe this is one of the holding cells that the prisoners would have been flung into. So what I'm going to let you do is go first.
Thank you. That's very chivalrous. So it's basically literally a hole in the wall, but not an ATM. So.
Different style of hole in the wall, definitely.
I presume that people get to do this on the tour.
Yeah, if they want to, yeah. Not everyone's as brave as you, don't worry.
Thank you. It says there's space for up to 4 people inside. Yeah. And it doesn't look like a very nice thing to have to do if you've just come to prison. It's sort of a bit of a baptism of fire, isn't it?
This would have been a proper doorway, probably up to about here. You'll see it from the inside. Obviously, with this electrics here, it was purely by chance that we found that there was a brick wall here that had been built. We think it was actually filled in the 1960s. So it was purely by chance with a sledgehammer that we managed to knock really into that. Yeah. But that is the reason why you're creeping down into it. But once you're in there, then you get the feel and sense of what it would have been like to be in there on your own, pitch black.
Rats?
Probably. Cockroaches, spiders, your favourite, all of that.
And would you normally be in there on your own?
Yep, so you'd be put into there, first of all, that's where your kind of waiting space is.
Okay.
And then from there, you'd have been taken down into the prison.
Okay. I'm going to go in.
Go for it.
It's funny, isn't it, that I'm more scared of spiders than crawling through a 2-foot square. Okay. So got down on my hands and knees. Really glad I still do Pilates twice a week. Yeah, it's not very big. I did not know what was on the other side. They were all really excited for me to go in there. And yeah, it wasn't exactly a luxury penthouse apartment. It's not very big at all. And it's not really very fun, not a fun feeling. Would people have been in those ones at the same time?
Yes.
Would you have been able to sort of, not high five, but I don't
Sign
know,
language
smile
to them or
at each
something
other.
like that.
Well, they wouldn't be smiling, would they? But
I mean, if it's your first time in jail and you're a child, you can only imagine how scared you'd be. And you'd probably be crying in the corner and just kind of, It
absolutely, honestly, just breaks my heart. Because if a kid's stolen an apple and they get put in here, it's just unbelievable to me. And it's very silent and it's a bit eerie, really. And it's weird to think about all the people who will have been in this spot wondering what their future holds and feeling scared, and I know there are people who came here who did really, really bad things, but a lot of the people here didn't do really, really bad things.
Are you ready to leave?
My body language has become very defensive. I've backed into the corner and folded my arms. So I thought I was escaping, I might get to go in the open air, but no. For some, the prison was the end of the line. Some people were there for a short time, but some people died there. And over nearly 4 centuries of operation, there were loads of people executed within the prison walls. And this is where it kind of got quite serious. So some of them were executed by firing squad along the back wall, and some were executed by hanging. So next I went to the execution chamber. So this room is relatively small. It's got a kind of square in the middle of it and a board with 2 feet painted on it. How many people was there one executioner?
So
how many people would have been in here?
In the lead up to any execution, obviously the executee or the condemned man would move through separate cells all the way through until the room just next door, which would be his final night. So this final cell here, as I say, would have had a bookcase in there along with a desk, writing material so he could write loved ones those final letters, which would have been sent off to them. The bookcase would have sat against the door that you can see currently just here. And basically, the prisoner would have had no idea that behind that bookcase was the execution room.
So it's a fake bookcase?
It would have been a fake bookcase, with books on it, hasten to add.
Gosh, it's quite weird to actually be in here. I mean, you must be used to it now, are you? Or do you always feel...
I am used to it, yes, but it still leads you to think about those people that have been through here. You know, and we believe that one of those that was hanged was actually innocent. And when you kind of think of that, it puts it into reality that actually, were they all guilty? Were they all innocent? It does put those questions through your mind. So we've had all these tales of torment and torture, injustice, miscarriages of justice. It's not great, right? But surely there's got to be a couple of good ghost stories kicking around. So the prison claims to be the world's most haunted prison. I bet other prisons claim that too, but this one is actually real. So there's ghost tours that you can do. You can stay over there. And I might do that. I genuinely might. And it attracts a lot of paranormal investigators, as you might imagine. So I spoke to Jen. So she's not a ghost, but she does have some tales. I love supernatural stuff. It does scare me a bit, but I am really intrigued by it all. And I hear that there has been supernatural activity in the prison, and I imagine that's probably the reason that a lot of people come and visit. Have you ever seen anything yourself?
I haven't seen, but I have experienced.
Okay.
So, I mean, just one example, probably one of the most recent examples, was I was down in the oldest part of the prison, and I was locking up, and I was the only person on site, and I heard someone kick over a bucket and apologise, and there wasn't anybody there. And I thought either maintenance was still on site or we'd got a guest who'd stayed behind after hours. So I checked the whole building to see if anybody was there, and there was no one there. And it wasn't until actually a couple of months later I realised there wasn't even a bucket.
Wow. Did you find it, so I suppose you didn't necessarily find it scary at the time because you were like, oh, there must be someone here.
Yeah, I was just a bit confused. I was like, oh, I didn't think there was anyone else on site. I was like, oh goodness, is it a guest? I better go and check. So yeah, no, I wasn't scared by it. And then once it dawned on you that it probably was supernatural, were you kind of like, that was cool? Yes.
Or, yeah.
Yes,
so is
I
there
get very
a part of you
excited.
that really, yeah. Do you get people coming who are really interested in that side of things? Because it is a big thing, isn't it, the ghost hunting?
Yes, yeah. So we get a lot of people coming in. I mean, we run ghost tours, so we get people coming in specifically for those. We get sort of amateur ghost hunters coming in. We get the proper groups coming in. And then we do just get people who come in and then they ask us all the questions. Oh, I've read about this, I've read about that. You know, have you experienced anything? Where's the most haunted part of the prison? We get a lot of that.
I've learnt a lot about the history today.
I've learnt a lot about the facts that we know, and I've learned about the facts that can't be verified, and I mean the sort of supernatural element of it, which I know is a big attraction for some people. Firstly, do you believe in ghosts? I know that's quite a kind of bold question. Do you believe this? Do you like? Are you somebody who likes to see proof, or can you go, actually, I don't know what that was?
Years ago, I would say I kind of sat on the fence. Here, when things started to happen that I couldn't explain, it made me think twice, and maybe there is something out there. Having worked here for such a long time, you do get used to the creaks and groans of the building and, there's a draft, there's a window open kind of scenario, but there's also things that I just can't explain. And those are the things that I kind of go, there has to be something here. There has to be something on the other side, whatever it is. But yeah, I now am much more of a believer, but I'm not so much into the ghost hunting because I believe in it.
Yes, you don't have to seek it out.
Exactly.
It's there. And you can differentiate, because you know the place so well, between, as you say, those normal creaks and noises that you get anywhere and that you might have initially gone, oh, that's a ghost. And then the actual stuff that you go, OK, that's not normal.
Yep.
So in that sense, you're a really good candidate for someone who's got a ghost story to tell.
Here we go.
So I would love to hear about what happened to you.
So the way I always start this off is by saying, imagine that you are here in the prison by yourself, and it's the middle of the night,
Okay.
and an event has just ended, and you have to, everybody's left, you have to then go around the prison and lock up. So you're by yourself.
Not for the faint-hearted, this. There are a lot of people listening to this and be like, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
OK, so Charlie's already brave.
Yes.
We're talking about early days of me working here. So it was probably, I started in the May, and this must have been August. I was responsible for locking up the whole site after we'd had a group of ghost hunters in. So it must have been about 4 o'clock in the morning. So really early hours. I was probably exhausted. I actually came through the gates that are just over there and began to walk around to lock up, and in front of me, somewhere in the mists over here, there was a shadow that I wasn't expecting to see.
So he comes through the gates into the hard labour yard, where we are now, and he sees a figure standing in the middle of the yard that shouldn't be there. Now my question to you is, what would you do?
I would describe him as a tall, and I say him, I'm assuming it's a him, he was a taller person, gentleman, with what looked like, almost like a French policeman's hat. And the reason I say that is because I think that's what warders would have worn back in the Victorian times. He was dressed in black, but it was dark. But this shadow just seemed to kind of stand there and almost whisper towards me slightly. And it was just really kind of puzzling to have seen this thing that I wasn't expecting to see.
I've tried asking him how he reacted, and all he will tell me is that he was shocked. Which I think is perhaps hiding the truth a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you can be shocked that the supermarket's sold out of chicken, can't you? It's quite a vague word.
Yeah.
So it could be that he went, oh, and it could be that he turned on his heels and ran away screaming.
Anyway, I kind of saw it and I thought, this is walking towards me right now. This is a bit worrying. What do I do? Bear in mind that I had the whole site to unlock, or to lock up, sorry. So it's not like I could run away. So I thought, well, I'm just going to give him a wide berth. So I literally kind of skirted around him, and I kept my eyes focused on him completely and utterly. And as I kind of leveled with him, and he was kind of in where you are to me now, he just kind of vanished. And there was just like it was nothing there at all. And to this day, I still can't explain it. I didn't go off screaming and running, as some people do say that I did. I was just a little unnervy by the fact that there was this figure, and I knew that there was no one else on site. So who was it?
Next up, I headed to the Showerings Cider Mill, home of the legendary Babycham, and a real Shepton Mallet institution. We're deep in cider country here, and the Showering family have been at the heart of it for 14 generations. Back in the 50s, they come up with Babycham, sparkling perry made from pears, a bit like cider meets champagne. And thanks to a bold TV campaign, it went from a local drink to a national craze. Didn't just sell by the bucket load, it actually changed how Britain thought about drinking. And the best part? It's still run by the Showerings today, including Matthew, who showed me around the factory.
My family we traced our sort of roots back, father to son, in Shepton Mallet to like 1610 or something. Yeah. So they never really moved, and they started buying pubs in Shepton in the 1840s, and they ended up with a small group of pubs, and they started doing a bit of wholesaling. During the war, they were pretty busy because they were supplying cider to all the soldiers that were held up on Salisbury Plain before the D-Day thing. Yeah. And then after the war, obviously that business went, and they were sort of, my grandfather and his brothers thought, we've got to do something else now. On one of their trips, they went up to Gloucester or Hereford to buy some apples. And when they went up there, one of the growers they visited had a load of pear trees. And they looked on the ground, they said, what are you doing with those pears? And they said, well, no, nobody wants them. So they took some back, pressed them, and my great uncle had been trained at Long Ashton in Bristol, which is a university for winemaking, cider making, I suppose. And so he took it back, started working on it, and he developed a drink with using a champagne yeast, using these pears, with his know-how and all the rest of it, and created a drink that was absolutely delicious, I suppose. Basically, by the late 1940s, 1950s, they launched a drink called Babycham. And this thing was like glamorous, like the 50s, the whole new thing.
And it came with its own glass.
A little nice glass and a little deer.
Yeah.
And they had great salespeople here in Shepton Mallet, and they'd have buses of sales guys that would go to a region to sell it in, because back in those days, the majority of drink was sold in pubs. The supermarkets didn't really exist. And so they'd blitz an area, get the stock into virtually every pub, and then they'd advertise. And so they basically followed where ITV started opening up. I think ITV might have started in Grenada, Tyne's. So wherever ITV was going, they'd go in and blitz the area, and they were the second advert on television.
Oh, yeah. Very good. Do you still make Babycham?
Yeah, we do. You
make it here?
Yeah. We make quite a few different ciders to suit different needs, if you like. So we've got value ciders, I suppose, which provides, really nice cider at a good price. We've got one called Compton Orchards that sells, it's good value for people. Right the way up to, we're doing one that my son's selling called Showerings Triple Vintage. And the aim was to make basically the best cider in the world.
What does triple vintage mean?
Well, it means that we're taking 3 vintage. We've got one orchard, one really amazing orchard, and we're taking the best 3 vintages for the past 3 years and blending them together.
The original Showerings company and the Babycham brand with it ended up in the hands of Allied breweries, but the next generation of Showerings, including Matthew and his brothers, weren't done. They created a new pear drink, no name at first, and it turned into a runaway hit. That success kept the factory alive and eventually let them buy the Babycham name back in 2021. And the whole story kicks off at a festival you might have heard of, Glastonbury.
I went to see Michael Eavis, who runs the Glastonbury Pop Festival. Yeah. He likes to help local businesses. And it turns out he was actually at school, same school as my father, a bit younger. Right. So he let us have a little stall down there where we took this drink.
What, at Glastonbury?
Yeah. And so we would first time we went down, we were sort of trying to get people to try that. Yeah. People would try, oh yeah, I quite like that, because it's a nice drink.
Yeah. What was the drink?
Well, it wasn't really called anything at the time.
Oh, but it was a cider?
It was a perry.
Perry, right, which is a pear cider.
Yeah, and so we'd get people coming up over the years. People say, we put a big sign up saying bar. Yeah. And people come up and say, can I have a gin and tonic and a pack of pork scratches? So no, we've only got
this.
perry. And they say, well, what's perry? And they say, well, it's like cider made from pears. So then, after saying that thousands of times, you just say, what have you got? They say, it's pear cider. So we called it pear cider. We weren't doing any selling or marketing. We were just concentrating on making other people's drinks. But down at the festival, the drink became like the kind of strawberries and cream of the festival. So it's the thing down there. And by, I think, 2005, we had to get the security out to stop people. There were people getting crushed trying to get to the bar.
That's a
and
good
so they
feeling,
came in
isn't
and they did that, and they let people in like an airport every now and again.
Did that make you think, oh, we're on to something?
Yeah, so then we thought, we came back, and then people would afterwards be writing in and
But
stuff.
Babycham was a perry. It was a pear.
It was, yeah.
Pear
Similar.
Yeah.
People writing in, asking for it, so we developed a pack for it, and we started selling it as Brothers.
Right.
And we had...
Well, it was called Brothers.
It was called Brothers. It's Brothers.
Brothers Pear Cider.
Brothers Pear Cider. Yeah. We did a Brothers. It was a strawberry version as well.
Yeah.
And that did good, and we're still doing it now. So that's where then we started selling our own brand.
Can I ask, when you come up with a drink like that, like a pear cider or something, and everybody wants it, do you have to like copyright it? Do you have to go? No one else can make this drink, or is there there's no way of protecting it?
This is the problem with not a problem, but this is the nature of drink. Obviously, you could trademark your name and everything, but it's a very efficient kind of market. All right, so when you see something, if you do something good, like with the pear cider thing, we were the first people to do that. Yeah. Within about 2 years, there was maybe 30 of them out there. So as soon as somebody sees something that could be good, there's just poof, it gets swamped by loads of similar products. Yeah. Anyway, so in 2016 we bought the old factory back, which was the Babycham factory.
Right, and that's
this. All of this is quite big. These are presses. So the apples have been moved into they've been turned into pulp, basically, a mash, and then they come into here, and then this thing presses them. And they use like socks to do it. These machines, my grandfather bought these machines in the 60s, and they haven't really changed very much. They got a bit more automated, but they still work. Yeah, they're kind of like something out of Star Trek, the original. Basically, the cider, you ferment it. So you've got the juice, and then we've got two choices here. We can either ferment it like it is, or we can turn the juice into concentrate. So it takes the water out, and then that stores better. Because it's 1/7, so 7 litres of juice, you can concentrate down to 1 litre of concentrate. So it stores better, and it stores longer, and it means that you can ferment when there's not in season. If you make a lot of cider, you need a lot of tanks.
Are these all full?
Some of them. Well, we're filling it because it's a new season.
Oh, I see.
We're filling it up with concentrate. That one's got concentrate in it. It's good to have plenty of storage.
And then you'll store that for a few months or something?
No, this one we can store for many years if we want.
Right. Okay.
Because and then when we want to use it, we can take it back and.
And is that in case there's like a bad apple season or something? Or?
Well, that, but also. Well, yeah, if you don't know what you're going to get, because apples are...
They're key to this business, man.
Apples are something else.
You need apples. You need apples.
That's the north side. This is the
bottling area.
Side, I suppose.
Bottling and canning.
Yeah. And blending.
Lemon flavour.
This is like the process area,
yes,
if you like.
Yes. Flavourings. This is for the drinks that you make for other people.
Mostly, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is the production place. You want to sample it or not?
Want to sample some cider? Whoa, straight off the bat.
There you go.
Ice cold.
Yeah, there you go.
Cider tasting. Look at that. Only in a cider factory can you open a can, take one sip, just chuck it in the bin. Because there's thousands of them. Do you still love it, Matthew, doing this?
Yeah, I mean, I've got my kids working here now.
Oh, great, okay. Family business.
I do. It's kind of, it becomes like problem solving all the time.
Yeah, I bet. There's always something.
The famous five were planning their next adventure with Great Western Railway. I fancy a trip to the seaside, said Anne. We could go paddleboarding in Penzance, said George. How about exploring Pembroke Castle, said Julian. Oh, don't forget the pirate festivals, said Dick. You know the best way to get to them? It's GWR. there's more to explore with Great Western Railway. Adventures start here.
That sounds like you had a really great time.
I did have a great time, actually. And I know, it's, you say a cider factory, but it was genuinely fascinating. And I'm a non-drinker, about that.
And you still had a good time.
And I still had a good time.
Yeah, you still had a good time. Proof is in the pudding. And you had got to wear a hard hat and big boots and things like that.
And I got to wear the ear defenders and the high vis. And I looked the business. The only problem is with the cider factory in Shepton Mallet is that you can't actually have a tour there. but it's the Showerings own this factory, but across the road from the factory, they also own these incredible old mill buildings, and out the back of there you've got these wonderful gardens, cafes and shops, and I think it's got all the history of their sort of cider making in there, and it's a beautiful it's a beautiful part of Shepton Mallet, even though Shepton Mallet is very small. It's a very sort of tranquil place to go.
Yeah, and I saw those gardens when I came to reception to wait for you, and they really are very beautiful.
They are, and if you don't like the gardens, then you can go and get a photo taken next to the Babycham logo, that little deer thing, and that's in Kilver Court, and you can go and take a selfie with that. That's more up your street.
Better than going around a factory, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Just get your selfie.
Straight to the Babycham deer, yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if anyone's tried to nick it ever.
Oh, probably. God.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably been replaced loads of times. I don't know, but
yeah, they've probably got 100 of them in the blimmin' factory.
Exactly. Put another one up. Play about it.
And then after our adventures, we went to the Cheeky Bean Cafe.
Yes, right in the heart of Shepton Mallet. This was, wasn't it? Lovely place.
Yeah, it was a really lovely. It's got oak beams and really nice atmosphere, I thought.
Hi, I'm Steve. I'm the owner of the Cheeky Bean Cafe in Shepton Mallet. Been running the Cheeky Bean since 2016. Had a cafe in Bath, and then we moved our cafe to Shepton to bigger premises in 2018, and have been sort of pretty prominent on the high street since then. People assume that Shepton Mallet is just a quiet, sleepy market town, but there's actually some really quirky, cool things going on here. So the prison, which you guys have been to today, is wicked. Went to the Showerings factory. This monument that we're sat on has been here since the 1800s. There was something else here before, back to the 1500s. There's loads of independent businesses on the high street. In fact, every single business on this high street is owned independently, and that's so rare. And the people of Shepton really do support local independent businesses. We've been really fortunate. I know we're here, it's prominent, we're quite loud, we're quite brash in comparison to other things here, but people have really taken us to their hearts and supported us from the moment that we've been here. If you scratch beneath the surface, you'll find some really cool, interesting, historical things to get involved in. Like I said, on the face of it, it seems like a sleepy market town, but there are some really cool things here happening, driven by the community, but there are also some really cool buildings and activities to get involved with as well.
We're at the Cheeky Bean Cafe.
Yes.
It is quite cheeky. Is it cheeky?
Yes, yeah.
I mean, it's quite tastefully decorated.
Not in the 70s cheeky.
No,
right?
not in the...
modern cheeky.
Yeah.
So you might imagine I'm going to go to a cider factory, you might think, okay, cider factory, but once you get in there, it is endlessly fascinating. These great big vats that they store constantly, and they got this great big silo where there's loads of apples, and they all go down into this little hole in the side, and then it goes into a crushing thing, and you see all the juice, and everyone likes to see how things are made. I think it's interesting.
How many
apples?
apples?
They make Babycham there. Oh, thousands of apples.
Were you tempted to chuck in an orange just to see?
No, it didn't. It didn't occur to me because I was the whole time I was with the owner.
Yeah, you're actually being observed.
Because if he'd have done that, he would have said, "Well, that's probably the end of this now."
Yeah, you're not. You've contaminated the.
Yeah,
what did you put that banana in?
Yeah.
I
was just because I want to see if you could make a tropical juice. They also make Babycham. They used to make Babycham there, and that whole story is very interesting.
It's such strong branding that that Babycham branding. It's like what I think about when I think of the 70s.
And 80s.
And 80s.
Those adverts of the 70s and 80s to Babycham were very good. I was watching some on YouTube today. They were really good. And that the iconic phrase, "Hey, I love a Babycham." We used to say that to each other. Like, it became a really good catchphrase. So it worked, man.
Adverts were so good in the past.
They were. They spent really loads of money on them.
I know.
Anyway, so
well,
that's
good
what
for you.
It was good fun.
Was it haunted? Because my
cider
location
mill.
was.
No, I didn't ask
Escape
that.
from the haunted cider
But
mill.
I reckon if I'd have asked him, he probably said, yeah, it was haunted.
Do you reckon?
Because it's the most haunted town in Britain or something.
Yeah, I know. I can't. I've just seen some youths outside who looked haunted by something.
Future. Haunted by the prospect of their future.
I went to Haunted Place. I went to Shepton Mallet Prison.
Yeah.
Well, I believe it was haunted. I got told it was haunted. I did
There's
definitely
no
feel...
reason to disbelieve that.
No.
Why would you... I would... Yeah, if someone said it was.
They were preaching to the converted, but I heard, a few stories of supernatural things and a lot about the history of it. And I didn't expect to feel so weird when I was inside. I really felt like I was in a place that you had to sort of respect what had gone before, and I really understand why people go there.
So there's ghosts all through the prison?
Well, yeah, there's bodies buried there, there's bodies in the walls, I think. I'd read that, but they didn't. I did mention that a couple of times, and he wouldn't confirm nor deny.
He didn't elaborate on that.
I kept saying the bodies in the walls, of course.
First time I've heard of that.
Yeah, all right.
This is a solid, structurally sound prison. There's no bodies in the walls.
But it was operational till really recently. I kept forgetting that.
Yeah.
I was going into the
2014, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or 13.
But it's
maybe.
funny because, when you see a prison, it's been shut for, I don't know how, 12 years, I think. But the degradation of the place is just it looks like it's been closed for years.
Yeah, there's a lot of ceiling peeling and things like that. But I think, especially when in the olden days, they didn't really. Someone will give us a lick of paint for you, then you'll be all right.
Yeah, exactly. This is your home after all. Yeah. Excuse me, sir. Yeah, they didn't really care.
Mindfulness at 4.
It's all changed, yeah. Cool. It's not a holiday camp. Yeah. Flat screen TV. All TVs are flat screen TV. I don't know why people say that now.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
So the $1 million question: would you come back to Shepton Mallet?
Yeah, of course I would. It was a gorgeous place, and I think we were there in September, but. I bet it's gorgeous at Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
And absolutely divine in the summer. So, anytime. It's interesting, anytime. But it's a lovely place.
I would too. I'd come back too.
Yeah, very quaint.
This has been Great Escapes with me, Izzy Suttie.
And me, Dan Skinner. It was produced and edited by Adam Stoner with additional scripting from Andrew Catanack.
Rebecca Small was our designated driver and Richard Ellicott was our videographer.
Check us out on Instagram to see inside the prison of the cider mill. I'm at Epithemu1.
And I'm at Izzy Suttie. Links to everything you might need, including the prison, the cider mill and the Cheeky Bean Cafe, are in the show notes.
Don't forget to rate, review and follow the podcast wherever you're listening. Next time,
I'm on a quest to discover why there's rhinos and lions and giraffe in Wales and getting up close and personal for some feeding time.
And I'm making a splash, going for a dip off the Pembrokeshire coastline to explore wild swimming and mental health. See you then.
Bye.